Hi, this is Amanda,
And this is Lindsay. We're True Creeps,
where the stories are true.
and the creeps are real.
We'll cover stories from grotesque gore
To the possibly plausible paranormal,
to horrifying history
to tense and terrible true crime.
and everything else that goes bump in the night.
We want you to join us while we creep.
We cover mature topics. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey everybody. So today we have a little bit of a shorter episode because next week's episode is a bit intense and it's very long. It was both very time intensive in research and in recording, which also means that it will be time intensive in editing. So today we have a shorter, a little more fun, a little more breezy, a little more loosey-goosey episode than we normally do. But it'll be a fun time because today we're going to talk about some haunted dolls. If you've been listening to us for a while, you know that we have a whole episode on haunted dolls from a while ago where we talk about a lot of things. Today, we're really just going to talk about dolls we found. We'll share them with you. You can look in the show notes. We'll include the list so that you could, should you want to, follow along. We'll put them in order of us talking about them too. So,
What beauties.
what a time. We're going to have a time. I'm excited.
This will be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as haunted dolls go, we've had actually a couple things with haunted dolls. We've had the haunted doll episode, and then we also talked about Doll Island.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, we did talk about Island.
And then we've talked about ghosts, because a lot of them, become haunted for reasons.
Yeah.
No real reason, just reasons.
Mm-hmm. So, Amanda, do you want to get us started?
Yeah, actually. So, because we're talking about haunted dolls today, as I was going through looking for some interesting ones, I ran across a really interesting business. It's called Unsettling Toys, and it's run by Sarah Derrickson and Brian Gilson. And what it essentially does is it's a matchmaking service for unwanted toys.
Why do you have to phrase it like that? Like, you make it sound like people are creating relationships with these dolls.
Well, consider this. If it is haunted,
I'm actually not going to consider it. I'm going to opt out of that one. Nope.
it's joining your family.
No. No.
Don't worry. I already have you on a list so we can send you so many of them.
No, thank you. No, thank you. We have a very strict no haunted doll policy in my house. And actually, there's a no haunted doll contract between my husband and I. After we released our first haunted doll episode, many people were like, oh, so you want haunted dolls? And I was like, oh, no. I literally said I don't.
I need to see a copy of this contract.
So I'll tell you, it was, a relatively simple contract. I said, Benjamin, if I bring you a cold Diet Coke and a snack, will you promise me that you will never bring a haunted doll into our home
Okay, so he can't bring it in.
or knowingly have a haunted doll come into our home in any way?
Okay,
So there's no loophole there. There's no loophole.
so FedEx is fine. Okay.
Nope. No, because that's bringing in a package that has a haunted doll.
I can bring one in to the home. Yeah.
No, he also can't facilitate it.
He won't facilitate it.
I just want you to know, you're not coming into my house if you don't have, I'm going to check your bags. And he accepted my kind offer. So now we have a contract though. But yes, I'm like, Amanda, open that bag up. Don't bring ghosts in here.
She has like a little machine outside.
I don't want.
Well, you say dolls. Apparently it could be anything.
Some of the things that I have today is one of the things at least is not a doll.
Remember rocking chairs.
Anyway, let's talk about what you were talking about. Your matchmaking service. Your Tinder for dolls, if you will.
Exactly. So if you have a haunted item or toy that you no longer want, here's what they do. They adopt each toy out, and it comes with an adoption certificate. Sometimes, hopefully, a backstory. And how I said it's a matchmaking service. It's done virtually through like Instagram and Zoom, and then it's delivered via UPS.
The idea that there's an alternate where you meet the doll in person feels so much worse.
Well, it's out of Portland, Oregon, and I guess when they started it, it was just like a local thing. But then people all over were like, help me, help me.
How many haunted dolls are there in Portland or haunted items? Well, I mean, like, we know that there's people all over the place because they're sending them to Zach Baggins.
Yes, but I'd rather them go to this, I think.
I don't know what I would rather. I don't think I want them to exist. I don't want them to exist anywhere.
Well, some adoption cases, the adopter has brought a psychic to their Zoom meeting so that they could ask the toys questions because the personalities need to match. She's like, no comment.
You can't see me, but I'm just blinking at Amanda because
I think it's fascinating.
I think it's fascinating. I also find it like a little heartbreaking. Like, if you need connection, there are billions of people on the planet that are alive.
But what about these haunted dolls that need a home? They don't want to be dump ghosts.
They had their life.
Oh, so now
They had their life. I'm sorry. Long or short as it was, it does not need to be in a vessel. I'm also like, here's the thing. I'm a little bit like, about these because I don't necessarily think that haunted dolls are ghosts. And let me tell you why. It's because I believe in reincarnation so thoroughly. And for me, I'm like, if you were ready to like be in the human space enough where you want to communicate with humans, then you're ready to be reincarnated. Right? So like for me, I'm like, that's the part where I get a little bit of a hiccup. So I'm like, what's in there?
I don't know.
We don't know.
If you either need to get rid of one or you are looking for an interesting, unsettling toy, they have 3 services. One is toy removal, and they find the best way to compassionately and respectfully remove the undesired or unsettling toy. And here's my favorite part. It's guaranteed. If, this is on their site, if, in very rare instances, a toy reappears in the home, we will remove it promptly.
Are there reviews on this site?
No, I have to show you in just a moment. I'm waiting to get your reaction.
Okay. I don't want haunted dolls in my house, right? I'm there already. But if I had a haunted item in my house and I got rid of it and knew that it could not be back, right? Like, say I took it and threw it off a cliff and watched it just tumble down and knew that it was gone. It wasn't like I was like, hey, Ben, can you take this out? And then he's like, it's going to be funny to fuck with her, right? No, not that kind of thing. Like, I threw it off a cliff. I know it's gone. And then it's back.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I guess you live here now. It's time for me to sell this house.
Buyer, it comes with this.
And because I gotta go into witness protection. Like, I've got something after me.
I want to see that police report.
Right, though? Would you be like, I guess we'll live here with it? I wouldn't call the service that didn't get it the first time.
Well, they tried.
What do you mean they tried? Here's the thing. I need you to know that when I picture this service coming in, do you know the really long tongs for like grilling?
No, they said respectfully and compassionately. Tongs is not respectful.
Yeah, rather than putting it in a trash bag, they put it in like a cloth sack. They put it in and then they take it out. So they aren't like shoving it in a trash can and they don't have like, what would you rather? Grill tongs or one of those, you know, when you can't reach something and it's the thing with the handle that does the picky uppy?
Every short person knows that.
Yeah. You know what? No, it's one of those because that is more respectful than tongs, correct? So that, a cloth bag that says, I respect you.
Do I hear that you're making a competing service?
Yes. Yes, I am. And you put it in there. I'm telling you, if I saw that happen, right, and the person leaves, I would assume that they were going to take it somewhere and like know where it was.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't expect they were going to like, I don't know, throw it in a dumpster a mile away. I guess what I'm saying here is that if you are not geographically close to this service and where they live, how is it getting back to you? How far can this doll walk?
I don't know.
Or whatever thing it is. If it's a chair, is it just like scooting down the highway just because it wants to make good time? Like, I don't understand.
I would not put it past a rocking chair.
If I saw a rocking chair making its way downtown, walking fast, faces past, and it's homebound,
Yeah, it's homebound.
I'm going to follow it. I'm going to need to know more. Aren't you going to need to know more?
It doesn't want to be a dump ghost under any circumstance.
Then move on.
What if it can't, Lindsay? What if they need someone to solve its mystery before it can move on? Think of, okay,
Yes.
you know the Pink Power Ranger. Let's go back to Power Rangers. Did you ever see her movie Susie Q?
It sounds familiar, but I need you to know that my brain, due to trauma, does this cute thing that any type of movie or book I've read, if it's been more than a year or two, I have forgotten most of it. I'm rewatching Gossip Girl right now. I watched it. I was like, yes. But now I've literally gasped while watching it. I've seen this show. I have a vague roadmap in there, but not much else. So perhaps is the answer to that question.
Well, they needed to solve something for the Pink Power Ranger to move on. She didn't haunt a chair or anything, but it was, I don't know, that just came to mind.
Look, I'm just going to say, like, perhaps that is work you need to do on yourself if you need to learn to let it go. You don't need to harass some family because you haven't dealt with your shit. Just go ahead and move on. Or you know what? You just have to be quiet, sit still, contemplate to yourself.
She has a lot of rules.
No moving around, no making lights change, no hurting animals, none of that. Like, deal with your shit. When we were talking about having, like, your mandible in someone's hutch or, like, your skull.
Yes.
Like, the fact that you can buy real skulls still is wild to me. But I still think I would rather be a dump ghost than, like, privy to someone's mundane life.
Fair.
Anyway, that's not what we're talking about right now. Amanda's telling me about this amazing service that sometimes fails.
It says in rare instances.
But sometimes.
Okay, so their second service is substitution services. So if someone in the house is attached to an unsettling toy, they offer a substitution service to help, it seems like it's normally a pet or child, with the change of their unsettling toy leaving.
Amanda, you know what I'm upset about right now. An animal. An animal. So you're telling me that we've got dog toys that are haunted now?
Perhaps.
We've got catnip toys, like the little cute little like bananas and stuff.
No. Maybe they like that the ghost is in the doll. Maybe they're friends. You would tell Moo, I'm sorry I'm taking your friend? If Moo looked at you with big eyes.
Absolutely. I'm her best friend.
Oh, wow.
I'm your best friend. You look at me.
You know that show Smothered?
Yes.
I'm gonna send Moo and yours pictures in and be like,
I need you to know, she walked into the office, and the way our office is set up, it's kind of long. So I have a side. I have 3 quarters. Ben has a quarter. In Ben's corner, he has a dog bed. I also have a dog bed on my side. And Moo, when it's just me in here, will choose to lay on that side. And I get really offended.
I take away the dog bed at that moment.
I mean, I've considered it. You know what I mean? I'm like, you're gonna choose me. But I like drug it inside my podcast fort. She's very lightly snoring as we chat.
It's fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
The third service that they offer is rehoming.
No, I'm sorry. Again,
Oh,
if one of your animals had a haunted thing, wouldn't you just get rid of it? Wouldn't you be like, here's a new toy?
but it's like getting rid of one of their humans. It's like their friend. I'm just telling you what this service does, Lindsay. I haven't used it. So they also do rehoming. So once they have the toy, quote unquote, in custody, they evaluate and gather information. Then they try to match the toy with a person or family who fits well with the toy's personality.
Okay.
I read an article with a bunch of like toys that they found homes for and like how happy the people are with their new unsettling toy. But I need you to just look at their logo because I think their logo is my absolute favorite logo from any business ever.
Oh.
How do you feel about this?
Oh.
It's my favorite. I love it.
Oh. I don't know what that is. Is that a rabbit?
Mm-hmm. I would buy that.
With a hat with what I could only describe as an anus-like mouth face structure. Because if you look at the whiskers, it kind of looks like, you know?
It's something.
Check out our new shirts and other goodies. You bet I will.
Yeah. I love this business.
Stop. Fucking stop. Amanda, did you look at their t-shirts?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Right?
Gorgeous. Unsettlingly available. Oh, so we're on the site. There's a section called Unsettlingly Available. And at the top of it, like Amanda mentioned, right, we have our certificate of adoption and rehoming.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to, but I don't get it. So there's some that are just like dolls, just dolls. I mean, Isabel is a bit, it's the eyes for me. There's a lot happening in those eyes. But if you scroll down to the entity in a vessel named Pinup, she's a pincushion clown. And so if you had a haunted toy or if you had a haunted object that had a purpose and you knew that purpose, would you still use it for its intended purpose? Right? Because would you like say you had a haunted toilet?
No.
Anywho, some of these are terrifying. I feel like I've looked at so many dolls in the past like 24 hours that I'm just numb to it now. I mean, I'm not numb to Pearl and Pearl because one photo, the head's turned in a very uncanny valley kind of way. There's Wisteria. She's a feather clown.
They also have a YouTube channel where they open like the things that people send them.
Oh, interesting.
I think it's a fascinating, really cool business idea.
Oh, yeah. It's a brilliant idea. Like, especially, regardless of what you think is in them,
Mm-hmm.
they still need to be removed by someone. And if you're willing to do that, then good on you.
Yeah, it's something I couldn't do. That's great.
No, I absolutely could not. Okay, Amanda, are you ready?
I'm ready.
This is a spirit of a haunted vessel, if you will. Are you sure you're ready? His name's Aaron.
I'm ready. Okay.
Here he is, actually. Okay, so let me tell you what Aaron is. Aaron is a wooden maple leaf with hauntingly realistic facial features of a person with very baggy eyes and what looks like sharp teeth. Honestly, I would say if you were to see a realistic Count Chocula, this face on a wooden maple leaf. Does that feel right to you?
I think that's a fair description.
Yeah. So let me tell you, he's on sale. He's 30% off. He's from Home to Spirits on Etsy. So in the description, they say that Aaron is a good spirit and that he likes to keep you company, but he also has very useful information. And I will tell you that, like, as I looked, I saw a lot of haunted object listings where there was some type of gimmick that the doll had. It could help you get to a realization about your life, or it would bring you luck, or in the case of Aaron, he can give you the hot goss and the deets,
Oh.
So it says specifically that you might not like what he says, but it's for your protection. This is a spirit to tell you if someone is betraying you or if you won't get that promotion. Specific.
This maple leaf. Okay.
He is also sure to keep your confidence. Like he's not going to run his mouth. Is that what we mean?
No. What I see, hold on. This is important. Highlights. Under highlight. No, don't move. Under highlights, it says vintage from before 2000.
That makes me feel so old. Oh, I don't like that at all. That is offensive. How dare you, Etsy? How dare you? The minimum for vintage has to be, I don't know, a date that doesn't make me specifically feel old. That's what the standard should be.
Don't like it. Never mind.
Oh, I don't like that at all. You know what? Let's see what our patrons think of this. Let's see.
Offended. That's what's going to happen.
Offended. And our patrons are offended by vintage before 2000?
Yes, they came quick.
Okay. So, he likes to be silly when you're investigating with him by always changing the subject. The person who owns him said that when they talked with him, they wanted to know whether he was married and had kids because he often talks about kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then they said that he doesn't ever answer, though. And that he's in like late 20s, early 30s. And they don't think that he had a stable job because he becomes bored really easily. And that they think he traveled in his life.
Oh.
What Aaron says a lot is, I lived each day like it was my last. And then they don't know how he died.
Ooh.
But he is a fucking maple leaf. And I can't stress that enough that I mean, maybe I'm wrong. It's not a maple leaf, but it's
a leaf. It's a leaf. I don't know.
It is a maple leaf, right? It's a leaf. It's a leaf that looks like mapley. But I'm unsettled by this particular object because can you imagine some person just like sitting and having a conversation with this Count Chocula realistic faced wooden maple leaf? I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And it makes me really upset to actually even think about it because I'm like, that would stress me out and scare me.
Yes, it would. It would. Oh, here, I'll show you one. Are you ready? This is on Mercari.
Oh, Mercari. Interesting. I would not have thought to search here for it.
That's why I did, because I figured you'd find all the great ones on like Etsy or eBay. So I was like, here we go.
I was going like 54th page in kind of listings so that like we would have random ones.
That's fair. So this one, okay. The reason I chose this one is mainly because of where she was found.
Can you describe her?
So it doesn't look like she has a name, but she looks like a Cupid doll. But like doll size, not like the little itty bitty ones. She's wearing a flower nightgown. She's very dirty.
Very dirty. Filthy even.
Yeah. It looks like she's cracked a couple times, like on her face and on her legs.
It also looks like the paint on her lips specifically was repaired.
Right? Or it just stayed for some reason.
Ugh. I can't imagine that's the original mouth. It's a hot red Taylor Swift lip.
She doesn't coin the red lip. Like it happened before her.
It did, but I feel like that shade of red is what I think of when I think of it. I think of her.
So I'm going to read the description. The seller is Jaded Fox, and this antique doll was left by my great aunt in her house that we found locked in a small room behind our dryer. After moving it out from the small room, things started to get odd around the house. Cabinets that were closed in the kitchen being open, faucets getting turned on, floors creaking, cold spots, and an all-over uneasy stomach feeling have followed. Please be aware this doll is haunted. This is not a hoax. Please be careful and aware.
Jaded, I have so many questions.
Yeah.
I need to know about that room. Was there a lock on it? I'll talk about spaces I have in my house that I'm thinking about opening. That if it's just like how it should look. But the idea of you find a small door or small room, it's locked and hidden.
Yeah.
I mean, curiosity, I would have to look at it, but I would know I was being dumb. Like I would know I was doing a dumb thing and I would do it anyway.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'd go in there.
I would never sleep again if I didn't.
I mean, if I found this, unsettling toys, here I come. Like, please come remove this from my weird room behind my dryer.
If you know that people are buying haunted objects, why not? If people are already buying them and you can spare the annoyance of this is kind of like poltergeisty to me. It kind of sounds like it's just what living with me is like, is that I always leave cabinets on and that I'll like turn the water on for the sink to like get it warm, leave the room, and then forget I ever did that.
Oh no.
Like I turn the air down really low. I walk very heavily. It feels like an attack to me is what I'm saying. Like that is Ben's life. He probably thinks he has a haunted doll.
Next time you talk to Mike, next time you message with him, ask him what would happen if he left the cabinets open.
Oh no. What happens? Cats? Dogs?
No. He just knows that I would not like it. And that is like the biggest no-no. You don't leave cabinets open for me to walk out and say, well, there's a ghost here. It's time to move.
You know, I don't think Ben likes it, but here we are.
Fair.
But okay.
Yep, she's a beauty.
150.
Marked down from 240.
We still love a bargain. Oh, and it was updated. It looks like the price maybe was updated.
Yeah.
In April.
Yep, she's something.
Do you have any places in your house that you haven't looked in?
No. Well, here's the thing. This is when we bought it, it was a new build.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, there's no, like, old, creepy area to explore. But there was houses when we were looking, not necessarily a creepy area, but we walked into one and it like hit everything that we wanted for a home. Like our realtor's like, you're going to love it. It's perfect. It's everything you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked in the front, like the living room, and I was like, actually, no, I can't buy this house. She's like, you didn't even look at it. And I was like, no. This is a bad house. And she like was a little annoyed. She's like, what do you mean? And I was just like, something horrific is here and I cannot, and we must go.
Bitch, it's haunted.
But yeah, nothing here. But that was kind of why we bought this too, is because I was like, I guess the land could be bad, but there was no weird feelings.
The land is sour. Sorry.
And we were the first people to live here, so.
Do you like to go to haunted places? If you were going to buy another house, would you buy a house that had some ghosties?
Like I've lived in places with ghosts and it depends. It depends on like how bad it is, you know? But would I like consider it? Sure. But like if you get that feeling of dread when you walk in, no.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. It's one thing if you're like, oh, there's something here. It's another thing if you're like, there's something here.
Yeah, there's a big difference between like, is it a livable spirit or is it not?
Exactly.
What about you?
So when we moved in, one of the things that I noticed was that in one of our spare bedrooms, there's a little like panel in the wall that you can unscrew. And I've never seen one of those near the floor. I've only ever seen those like in ceilings or higher up.
Yeah.
And especially like to get to plumbing and things like that would make sense. But like where it is doesn't really make sense to me. So we haven't opened it.
You haven't?
I think we might need to. We haven't opened it. And
oh my gosh, I wouldn't be able to sleep. I'd be like, we need to know.
I know, it really stressed me out in the beginning. And then like we put stuff in that closet and I was like, ugh, I'd have to move everything out of that closet. So it doesn't stress me out as much because for something to come out of it, they would have to move like a lot of boxes.
It's like your Airbnb. You have to have the chair in the door. Okay.
Yeah, a barrier. Yeah, it makes me feel safe. The other one we have, I don't think I even realized until my birthday, or a few days for my birthday. We have a neon light in our bar named the Velvet Goat that says the Velvet Goat that my brother, my sister-in-law, and then our friend Nick got us for Christmas. My brother was hanging it up for us with Ben. And Ben was like, yeah, that corner over there, like, I don't know what's in there or what that's about. And I'm like, what? And I like look, and our whole basement is wood paneling.
Yeah.
Right? And we have wood paneling, orange shag carpet, if you need to know, a teal couch, and a yellow bar named the Velvet Goat. In the wood paneling, there's clearly a cutout.
How have you not? Like,
in the upper corner.
day one.
And then Ben was like, if you look really closely, you can see where, like, my nails, like, bent it back a little because I was trying to get it open. He's like, I didn't want to damage it and it not be able to go back.
Oh, man.
He's like, but I've tried to look in, and he didn't, and he stopped.
Okay, so...
And now I'm thinking about it.
We're recording this on the 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have 3-day weekends. My 3-day weekend will now be watching you guys open all the weird stuff in your house.
Oh my gosh, no. You don't understand how much stuff is in the spare bedroom now. That's the room where things go to just sit for a moment before we're ready to, like, deal with it.
And this is the weekend.
No, this is not the weekend. We've got life. Ben has, I think, a rugby game. We're eating crabs.
Give me the rugby team's number.
Every single, the rugby team's one number, because the rugby team has one joint cell phone.
Yeah, I need to...
They have a landline.
I need to contact them and say how important this is for me.
Give me the rugby team's phone number right now.
You know what? They would understand if I was like, look, there's a weird spot in Benji and Lindsay's house and I need it opened for my entertainment. They would be like, you know what? Everything canceled. We'll all come over and help you open it. Like,
oh no.
I can imagine the conversation now. Yeah, it'll be fine.
No. I'm for the bar one. The other one, I don't know. I get a weird feeling. And so our house, it was built in the late 1970s by my great uncle. And he sold it to a couple that didn't have kids. And they lived here until they both died. She was a little bit odd from what I've heard.
Okay.
I feel like people described her as very odd and strange. But what she sounds like to me is just a person who was neurodivergent.
Oh, okay.
And I love Marge. What a ghost. But they were the only people who lived here. And so I'm like, what could be in there? I think is also my other thing. Like, I'm not that stressed out. Part of me's like, what if there was a cache of money?
Like, I wouldn't mind a helpful ghost. That would be fine.
I've had a fun time talking about just some haunted dolls. A little looser, a little more with the flow than normal episodes.
We really want to see your favorite haunted item that you can find that is available on one of these sites. Do you have a favorite? Have you bought one before? Was it actually haunted?
Oh my gosh. Are any of the items in your house haunted that you are aware of? And or do you have any suspicions? And third question is, if you had to pick one item that you already had that was most likely to be haunted, what is it?
Mm-hmm. And then also remember that Lindsay is starting her new haunted doll removal service called Not a Dump Ghost.
Yeah, Inc.
And send her your things.
It's not a dump ghost, not a mandible on a hutch.
It's the in-between. It's the scale.
It's this equivalent of the thick cat, thin bear spectrum.
Yes, that people voted on, and they were smack dab in the middle.
Yeah, they did. Right in the middle. Maybe we could do like a show and tell night with our Patreon of their creepiest items.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That would be a fun little event. I like that. If you haven't looked at our Patreon before, we have tiers starting at $1 all the way up to $50. There's a whole bunch of different fun bonuses if you do them, but you also get to be a part of our Facebook group as well as our Discord, which are both a fun time. We really appreciate it because we have fun doing the show and taking the time and putting our love into it, but it's not free.
And time's running out if you want our annual fall card, because the deadline is the 15th of September. If you join our Patreon as a Fire Yeti, then you'll be able to get our annual card, and it is gorgeous.
Yeah, and I mean, I will say too, like, we say card, it ends up being like kind of like a little print.
Mm-hmm.
because it's art that I've lovingly drawn about what has happened in True Creeps in the past year.
Yeah, last year's was great. I still have my copy. Nice and safe because I'm afraid of it getting bent. I need to frame it.
Yes. A custom piece of art just for our patrons.
Perhaps it's haunted. I don't know.
It's not. You can bring it into your house if you have a embargo on haunted items.
Marge might be able to visit, though, as it comes from Lindsay's home.
Oh, send a little piece of Marge out.
She travels. She travels.
Oh, I didn't know she was like the Blair Witch. I thought that she, honestly,
They're friends.
I don't feel like she was the traveling type. I think that she was a homebody.
You know, but the Blair Witch is getting her out there again.
Oh, she's like, look, it's the year of Marge. We're going to go across the country. We're going to go do some things. It's going to be a fucking time.
Please put the year of Marge on it on the top now.
Yeah, that's the name of our fucking fall card now. Yeah, it has to be. I mean, I wish I knew more about the woman who used to live here, but I'm also not going to like pull out a Ouija board or bring a psychic in because that invites more activity. And I feel good at the level of activity we're at. So what a time we've had sharing some dolls with you.
Oh my goodness. Also, we had a big hiccup while recording this episode. Right after we finished sharing our dolls with each other, both of our computers decided to freak out.
Yeah, they were like, you're done. So we made something mad, perhaps.
We absolutely did. I have a ton of RAM in this computer. It was maxed out. I don't even know how that's possible. All of a sudden, just while we were talking, all of a sudden it jumped up. That's why everything turned off and went crazy. We almost lost the recording.
Big mad.
Big mad.
Big mad. Well, we're going to cautiously back out of this podcast room.
And with that, have a good weekend. Sorry, dolls. We love you.
Thanks for creeping with us. Bye. Thanks for listening. For more information on our sources, please visit our website, truecreeps.com.
If you'd like to follow us on social media, you can follow us on Instagram at TrueCreepsPod, on Facebook at facebook.com/TrueCreepsPod, and on Twitter at TrueCreeps.
We'd love for you to keep creeping with us. So if you like this episode, please subscribe, rate, review, and share the show with your fellow creeps. Today, we're going to talk about some haunted ghosts.
It's joining your family.
I'm your best friend. You look at me.
You know that show?
Bitch, it's haunted.